It's a vast community of oil, energy, banking, medical breakthroughs, cowboys, artists, laborers, academics, entrepreneurs, and restaurateurs. And in a state that's known to lead, the Bayou City is the most ethnically diverse city in America. We are what the rest of the country will be. Houston, the new face of America. Fox 26 News got together with community leaders and everyday people representing the pockets of our metro area that give this city its flavor.
And what I am dealing with is the tremendous amount of fear.
Our mission, give you what you need to know about the ever-changing face of your neighbors and how it will impact you and this city for decades to come. If anyone knows more about Houston being the new face of America, it's Rice professor Dr. Stephen Klineberg. His research at the Kinder Institute on the city's population shift has spanned 30 years.
It's truly remarkable. Right? I mean, when I first came here in the 70s, this was a biracial southern city dominated by white men, and has become in the last 30 years the single most ethnically diverse major city in the country.
And contrary to popular belief, when people think, a diverse city, they think New York City. But we're number one in that area.
We are number one by this single most important measure, which is entropy index. It's how close does a community come to 1/4 Asian, 1/4 Latino, 1/4 African American, 1/4 Anglo. Houston comes closer than any other major city in the country. And Fort Bend County is probably the single most ethnically diverse county in the world.
Wow.
Fort Bend County is 19% Asian, 23% Latino, 21% African American, 36% Anglo. All of us minorities, all of us called on to build something new under the sun. A truly successful, inclusive, equitable, multi-ethnic society that will be Houston and Texas and America in the 21st century.
But the benefits of those 21st century demographics also create some challenges. Houston is becoming a microcosm of all the world's people and religions.
So there's one broader challenge and then one specific and fundamental challenge. The broader challenge is that older Anglos are not entirely comfortable with this. Younger Anglos are in general much more comfortable with all this diversity. They grew up in a world where that diversity is taken for granted. There's no majority, and there will be no majority in the United States by about 2042. So the two big issues, the big challenges, one is helping all of us sort of embrace this new reality and recognize the tremendous opportunities that it represents. And not surprisingly, in a city that has been changed so dramatically, not everybody thinks all this is wonderful. It's interesting to see anti-immigrant attitudes in Houston when you think of how much this city has benefited from being one of the magnets for the new immigration of the last 30 years that has created all this tremendous growth in the city, whereas other cities across America have lost their status as major cities because they've stopped growing for the last 30 years. Philadelphia, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Buffalo. But the other great challenge is education. We are in a new world where the blue-collar jobs have disappeared. We are suddenly in a new world where education, always a good thing to have, has become absolutely essential. What happens to Latino immigrants the longer they're in this country? Every measure we have shows they come with low levels of education, but tremendous energy and commitment to hard work and belief in the work ethic, and they work very hard and they work their ways out of poverty at least as fast as the Italians and the Greeks and the Poles did 100 years ago when the same concerns were being expressed about them.
And is it possible from what you've seen so far, and we're doing it in many ways, for these groups to live and work harmoniously for the betterment of the city?
Yes, and younger folks from all ethnicities are falling in love with each other, marrying, making multiracial babies. I mean,
and everyone's not happy about that either, Dr. Klineberg. That's part of the conversation.
But it's real. We're all going to invest in our own kids. Will we also be willing to invest in Houston's kids? This is one of the major places where the American future is going to be worked out. We're there first. All of America will look like us